Hello, Royal students! In this class, we will be looking at how to use these words with countable and uncountable nouns. We have few, a few, little, a little, fewer, less, more. In English, nouns are classified into two main categories based on their ability to be counted. They include countable nouns and uncountable nouns. Countable nouns refer to items that can be counted individually. We have countable nouns like books, bottles, house, houses, dog, dogs. By that, I mean you can count them in numbers like 1 dog, 1 million dogs, 20 billion dogs. Whilst uncountable nouns, known as mass nouns, mass, M-A-S-S. By that I mean M-A-S-S. Mass nouns. All right? They refer to substances, concepts. They do not have plural forms. They include water, rice, information. You can say informations. It is information. Music. You can say two musics. No. You can say knowledges. No. You can say a piece of information, a piece of furniture, air, milk, happiness, some milk, not two milks. Except you are referring to a carton of milk, 2 cartons of milk. So, countable nouns are quite different from uncountable nouns. I've heard a number of students say, a little people. Little is used for uncountable nouns like we're going to be seeing in this lesson. Now, when we talk about few, few can be used for countable nouns. For example, few people attended the meeting. You can say a little people attended the meeting. That will be very incorrect. Now, the difference between few and a few is that whilst few talks about something negative, a few talks about something positive. Now, if I say few people attended the meeting, it means that the people were quite few and you were not okay with it. If I say I have few shoes, it means I am not comfortable with the number of shoes I have. Few shows dissatisfaction, whilst a few shows contentment. If you say a few people attended the meeting, it means that the number was few, but you were quite satisfied. There were just enough people in the meeting. Same thing with me saying, I have a few shoes. It means I am quite okay with the number of shoes I have. But if I say I have few, it means I want more. I might want more in using a few. However, I am not bothered about it. I am just okay with it. I am quite satisfied with it. Now, let's talk about little and a little. Same thing applies to little and a little. Now, the difference is that little is used with uncountable nouns, whilst a little is used with uncountable noun, but it suggests that is just enough for what you're going to do with it. For example, there is little water left in the bottle. It tells you that the water is not going to be enough. When you say a little, it implies that The water is enough. There is little water left. Without adding a, it means that the person in question or the speaker is complaining that the water is not going to be enough. However, if the speaker says there is a little water left in the bottle, it means the water is just going to be enough, is just enough for whatever the speaker wants to use the water for. So that is the difference. Whilst this speaks in a negative light, this is positive. Whilst this is negative. So when I say little, I am complaining or I am not satisfied with the situation. But when I say a little, it means it's just enough for me. It might be small, but it's just enough. Same goes with few and a few. Now, what about fewer? Fewer most times compare. For example, she made fewer mistakes this time, meaning it is comparing the situation now and the situation before. It is used to indicate smaller numbers, meaning if she had made 20 mistakes in her writing before, this time she has made fewer mistakes. It means there is a reduced number of something than it was before. You can see in this example, it says she made fewer mistakes this time. You can also say there are fewer cars on the road today than yesterday. So it is used with countable noun, indicating that there is a smaller number of something than it was before. It could be yesterday, it could be last year, it could be just an hour ago, but there is a fewer number. It indicates reduced number. Less is used with uncountable nouns to indicate a smaller quantity or degree. So whilst fewer is used with countable noun, with things you can count, less is used with things you cannot count. For example, she has less patience. You can't count patience, but you can count mistakes. So she has less patience. You can't say she has 2 patience. She has 3 patience. But you can say she has less patience. You can say she has patience. However, in fewer, you can say she made 10 mistakes in her writing. So note that in speaking correct English, you have to put these words into consideration. Lastly, let us look at more. More indicates an increased amount or number. More can be used with both countable and uncountable now. For example, we need more chairs. Now, chairs in this sentence is a noun. You can see that more is used with the countable noun chairs. You can say 1 chair, 2 chairs, 3 chairs, 4 chairs. More can also be used with uncountable noun. For example, I need more time. Time is an uncountable noun. So more is one word that can be used both with countable and uncountable noun. You can say he needs more time to complete his assignment. She owns more books than her brother. These distinctions help ensure clarity in communication. For instance, saying few or little without the article a typically conveys a sense of scarcity or insufficiency, while a few or a little suggests that there is at least some of the item in question. So when referring to countable noun, you use few, a few, fewer. When referring to uncountable noun, you use little, a little, less. However, you can use more for both countable and uncountable noun. It is very momentous. You get used to the application of these words because this can be a turnoff for most people who are very good in communicating correctly with the English language. With this, we have come to the end of this lesson. I believe that you got value. Do well to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our exquisite channel. I'll see you in my next video.